You're listening to Nothing's Off the Table, the podcast where no subject is too taboo. Now, please welcome your hosts, Andy Barker and Lou Del Pree.
What's up, Lou? I just
Nothing
I hear
much.
I hear that music. I just want to move. I just want to shake. I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's probably the drugs. Wait, what?
I saw that new graphic you had on that cube, that rotating cube.
Oh yeah, pyramid, cube, whatever it is. What do you think?
It's like a discount board cube, but during off Pride Month.
Wow.
Rotating.
Well, that fits in here just fine, just like a butt plug, huh? We were supposed to have a guest tonight, and
That's right.
now this guest signed up and sought us out to come be on the show, right? But yeah, whatever. Never got back to us, so no guest.
I mean,
We'll
we
wing
move things around. We're busy people. I mean,
That's right,
we're
man.
pretty solid, and to stand us up like that last minute, unprofessional.
Hurtful. I got this guest. I'm trying to multitask here. I'm probably not doing too well, but no, I had this this Facebook page that you sign up and you can say that, hey, we're looking for guests, and people sign up to be on the show, right? Well, I mean, if you sign up to be on the show, have the common courtesy to, I don't know, show up, but whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
But no, that's great, and that's how we got people like Paul Ellis, author. And we had George,
Right.
a couple weeks ago. Which, by the way, I do need to apologize to the crowd. I woke up sick as all get out Thursday, and it did not go away Friday. And I just was not doing well.
It happens, man.
Yeah, my old lady made me get a COVID test.
What?
Yeah, we have them up in our bathroom, and she's like, "You need to go do it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" But I get it, and this was the conversation I would have with some people, not many, but some. I did do the test because it's important. My wife works in the ICU. Regardless of what you may think of COVID, regardless of what you may think of the vaccines, there is a portion of the population that is highly susceptible to this. The
Oh, no
elderly
doubt.
and the extremely obese.
There's no
So,
doubt.
right. So when I was working for one of the health systems here, I remember a man arguing, and I think I've probably told this 100 times. And the guy was arguing in the waiting room because he didn't want to wear a mask because he thought it was stupid. And came down, and I'm like, I'd be with you. I'd be with you anywhere else except fucking geriatrics, dummy.
Right.
We're in geriatrics. Put your fucking mask on. Pardon my language.
Oops,
But
there's another fine.
But yeah, right. Another SEC fine. But anyway, it was just one of those things where, hey, I get it, man. I don't think masks do anything either. I think it's hilarious now that it's written on the side of the box. I think it's funny. I think we've all been vindicated, right? Everybody who thought this was nonsense has been vindicated. I think, we don't really need to go down any of the rabbit holes. I mean, it's all there for people to look at. But
Oops.
there is a portion of the population that is vulnerable, though, and you should take precautions around them.
With that, I agree 100%. But we, like you said, we know the masks don't work.
Right.
We knew that before they had to admit that they don't work.
Yeah. I thought that the best meme that floated around was, you mean the thing I can smell a fart through,
Right.
right? Right, is going to stop an airborne virus.
That should tell you something right there,
I used to tell people in the clinic all the time, and they would look at me like I was an idiot. And maybe I am, but I would tell them all the time, the HIV virus is microscopic, and it can make it through the pores of a condom. Right. I've had water balloon fights with condoms. I've never had a water balloon fight with a mask.
Yeah, right. Thank God.
Okay, so I'm just saying, and then people would look at me like I was some kind of idiot. But I mean, I can't think of a better visualization in my own experience. If HIV can make it through the pores of a condom, and I can have a water balloon fight with a condom, what do you mean to tell me this mask is going to stop it when this mask can't do anything? You can't even stop the water.
Well, you're messing up because you're using logic.
I know. It was people went insane.
So, Nope, there goes that train of thought.
Well, funny thing, since you lost your train, I'll keep going with mine. So I just finished a book called Influence, and I'd have to look up the author. It was Audible. So if you're still on Audible, Andy, and if anyone else does, I have a monthly membership to Audible. I love it. It's one of the two memberships I say I get the most out of. That one, and I do have a membership at Cinemark, and I'll promote that till the day I die. I mean, I hate liberal Hollywood, but I'll tell you what, I do get my money's worth out of the Cinemark membership.
What is Cinemark?
It's a movie theater chain. So for the price of one ticket, so basically you buy one ticket a month, and you get 25% off all your concessions. And then you can roll that ticket over, right? So it's great. So I go to the movies once a month and have lunch for like
So
15 bucks.
you don't smuggle all your stuff in like everybody else does?
Nope. I go right up there. I order a whole bunch of shit, and then I forget to tell them I'm in the club just so I could watch it come down. Oh my God, I forgot. Could you scan this barcode? And I look at the people behind me.
Sorry.
Forget my head if it wasn't attached.
Right.
And then I watch it go from $48.99, hot dog, popcorn, and a slushie to, $15.67. I'll take it every time, man. I will take it every time.
That's right.
But anyway, Influence. I was listening to this book on influence. It's by this behavioral psychologist, and what he did was he wanted to find out, what things influence behavior, what things are hardwired, how do influence peddlers operate. So he infiltrated car sales, vacuum sales, all these different sales places to see the different techniques and the different things that people do. But one thing he was talking about was, an uncertainty principle, where in times of uncertainty, groupthink takes over. So if you can advertise that a group of people like something, over something else, then when people are indecisive about it, well, if 7 out of 10 prefer it, I'll try it, and that's what he was saying. Like, so when people, and then he also talked about how people, and he goes into the science of it, I'm glossing over, but he really goes into, it's not just uncertainty. It's what Steve Jobs talked about, decision fatigue. If I can get people to make the lesser decisions that I feel don't really matter, you know what I mean? Then it's easier. I'll just go with the group. Right. Yeah. So it's fascinating, if you're one of those people that doesn't care whether it's Hanes or Fruit of the Loom, whatever commercial you saw last is probably what you're going to pick up at the store.
That or whatever's on sale for my cheap ass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly is what they were talking about, and he talks about the rarity principle, how people try to, people love things that are rare, and it's a very American trait. If you can get a double stamped quarter, even though its intrinsic value is nothing, the fact that no one else has it and you do, and then he talked about, what is value and what is value in a relationship, right? And he kept going back to, when you're around influence peddlers, remember, you're not buying them, and then he also said too, one thing that kills people more often than not is a consistency principle.
What? Really?
He said people get preyed on by consistency over and over. And he said, and if you can get somebody to agree to something once in the beginning, he said, it's easier to get them to agree to more things in the end. He said, which is why people start off with, don't you like vacations? Yes. Okay. We're already saying yes. We're already down that road. He said, it sounds ridiculous, but that is the steps. That is how it works.
I don't find it ridiculous at all. In fact, that's pretty fascinating, man.
Yeah, he was saying the consistency principle is amazing and gets exploited all the time. He said, but what you have to ask yourself is this, right? And he said, consistency is important. It is. He said, but what you have to ask yourself is this: knowing what I know now. He said, and if your first flash reaction is no, then say no.
Right.
So you don't have to ride the consistency train to your doom. He's like, ask yourself, knowing what I know now.
Which the inherent laziness of people, it's funny because no is easier to say than yes. There's one less letter.
Yeah. He was amazing how he went into it. I mean, I finished it pretty quickly, and I'll probably listen to it again because like I said, he went into all the different things that people use, and as he's going through examples, look, I consider myself a smart guy, but I'm like, I fell for that. Oh, people have used that on me. And then other times I was like, you know what? Unknowingly, that's why I feel like I've had success with this approach. I didn't even realize I was using one of those principles.
Yeah, well, you don't know what you don't know, right? And you're still smart. You were just uneducated in that area.
Right.
So
right.
Ignorant, if you will. And you can fix ignorance.
Mm-hmm. But that book was called Influence, new and expanded version.
The last time we talked, I don't know if it was the last time or relative, recency. We brought up UFOs or something, aliens, right?
Oh, man.
Well, lo and behold, guess what's all over, suggested videos for you on my YouTube channel? It's like, man, if you can't convince me, somebody's not listening.
Of course they are.
You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit.
Hey, remember our good guest? We got to bring him back to Eric, the data manager, right? It's all designed to spy on you.
Of course it is.
It's every time you open an app, Apple records that.
Of course.
So yeah, I think somebody's listening. Yeah. But that's why people who, click on this even probably one time had a UFO ad.
Probably, yeah. I just found it, I wasn't surprised, but I found it humorous. I'm like, you dirty little bastards.
Always. Yeah, they're always listening. And I think I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. I don't know if I mentioned it on Nothing's Off the Table. I know back on the pit years ago, I mentioned it a couple times, but I came across an article years ago where, there are special, and you can Google it and read about it more in depth, special chat rooms, online chat rooms that are locked for Amazon quality assurance checkers because of some of the crap, they drop in on.
Really?
Yeah. And because of, law and domestic spying and all that, they can't say anything, but, when they're doing quality checks, just trying to see if the device is picking up what it's supposed to pick up, or I know some people are like, quality checks. Yeah, they're being creepy. Okay. Whatever it is they're doing, it's, what they're dropping in on is apparently horrific enough that they have special counseling for them to go into and be able to talk about this stuff without, incriminating anything.
I can only imagine, man. Think of all the domestic abuse that crap catches.
Oh, I play video games, man. The crap I hear in chat rooms, goddamn, get your own food, kid. I'm in the middle of the game, or like something like that. You're like, whoa, man.
Right. It's insane, man. Accidents, tragic accidents that happen, fires, wow. I can imagine. But that's what you get for spying, bitches.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, here's the thing, man. As much as we may hate it, there's no law against being a bad parent, man.
Right.
As much as we may hate it, unfortunately, there is
I mean, I can argue that a little bit.
I mean, unfortunately, though, if you're
when a bad parent becomes abusive, then
yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying is, but short of the criminal activity,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like parents who, maybe just don't, they feed, they clothe, they attend events, but they don't generally take an interest in their kid. They're just waiting for them to turn 18.
Wait,
like that type of stuff, or like parents that don't go to any concert.
Hold on, back up. That's wrong.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
Oops.
there's no law against that,
You're right.
There just isn't,
You're right. Yeah. Well, speaking of that kind of stuff, we just finished up Isabella's cheerleading season. Which
I hear those parents are tough.
It was fun, man. Well, she made the school team, so they had to cheer at the basketball games. So the 8th grade boys and girls, both teams play. They had to stay for each game. So you know what that meant. We went, of course, to watch her. So we watched all the games. But it ended up being pretty damn exciting because the boys team went undefeated. And last night they won the tournament, the annual tournament. So it was fun.
Sweet, dude. Sweet.
It's fun to see the passion in kids that young for something other than a damn video game.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely kids have to get outside. It's funny. I I just found a new. I was playing Call of Duty all the time, and I just found a new, more realistic game, Armor Reforger, and I've been playing that a lot. And I got involved in this server, and I've never been involved in any of this stuff, right? Like, yeah, I'll admit I game a lot, right? I play a lot of games. Um, but I've never been involved in like a Discord or anything, so I didn't know any of this stuff, right? So I had to download this app, I had to create an account, and I had to join this server, um, because I dropped in and so let me back up. Let me back up a little bit. So I'm doing official servers because I'm afraid of playing on private servers and modifications. Like somehow they're gonna, like, I don't know,
Cheat codes or some shit.
watching cartoons all day or something. I don't know. Like I'm probably some malware. Not that I lead this interesting life, like whatever. But anyway, so one day I try it, and I'm just kind of reading the names of the servers, and they're all like military names, and some are spoofs of names.
Mm-hmm. Like
some
meal Team 6.
Yeah, and some are like legit names, right? So then I come across First Raider Battalion. And I was like, hey, I was in Third Raider Battalion. Let's see what this is, and so I drop in, and it's that there's no raiders there. I'm the only one. No, I shouldn't say that. There's I heard there's one other, but I haven't run into him yet. And the guy that runs it comes from one of the prior Raider battalions before Recon stole it, right? Just kidding about the stealing. But anyway, long story long. I get in there, and it's run like the military. Like, there's a guy running around with staff sergeant next to his name, and he's yelling at everybody to get in line. And I'm like, oh my God. I say, all right, well, fuck it. Let me fall in line and see what happens here. So I fall in line, and I don't look like everyone else. So guess what happened?
Yeah.
Just like the military, man, I got singled out. I got called out, and then I got pulled aside and shown where the stuff is and how to wear it.
Did you say there?
It was funny, man. So I just got quiet and I watched because, like, memories started coming back. So then I started playing with them regularly, got to know a couple of them, and then I got to know the owner of the server. And we were talking one day, playing in the daytime, and he said, I just, because he said when I jumped on, he said I got a little nervous. I thought, oh my gosh, here's a guy. Because when you join the mil sim, they ask you if you've ever been in the military and what units, so I put my units. That's how I came out. So he said, I thought, oh God, this guy's going to think it's a joke, and I said, no, man, I know we're playing a game, there's an element of game here, right? You know what I mean? Number one, right? That's number one. But number two, they are creating an environment. And he told me, that he goes, that's what I wanted to do. He goes, when I got out, I was missing the brotherhood. He goes, I know how to play a computer. He was an 0331. He's like, and I enjoy playing games. So I bought a server. So it's his server. He goes, I bought it in an attempt to recreate the brotherhood. And so I said, man, of course I'll help you, And so, so we just play, have a good time, and by help. And what I mean by help him is I just fall in and be where I'm supposed to. I'm one less person he has to tell where to go. That's how I help, But it's legit and it's fun. And he's really, really doing it. So if you play Armor Reforger, head on over to that 1st Marine Raider Battalion. They're really trying to create a good community. They even on their server channels started a mentorship program. So you're encouraged to request a mentor.
I am going to get on there. It's just her season's done and over with now, so we don't have anything else for the next couple months until baseball starts.
Yeah. No, by all means. And like I said, I encourage anyone, if you're listening and you're a gamer, check that out. There's, and I'm sure that server's not the only one. That just happened to be the one that I hit. And I just, like I said, it just kind of clicked with me. But yeah, check stuff like that out, man, because we really found I found a really cool community. And then as I started, looking up videos and different things, I saw there are a bunch of things like, so, there's a bunch of Army servers, Marine servers, different servers playing this game with different flavors.
Any Space Force?
I did not see Space Force, but they did drop the Halo mod last week, interrupting my Corpsman training.
Oh,
So they do training on this server. You have to go through the server ITC, which they teach you the basic, light infantry tactics, like what a wedge looks like, diamond formation. There's a lot of people that aren't military that want the military experience that are on the server as well. So they just show them the basic formations. Then they teach them how to drive, teach them how to pick up a casualty, because there's steps to it. You don't just like press a button. They teach you just the basics, and then once you finish the basics, then you can pick further training.
Once you get out of boot camp, you go to
Right.
SOI.
Exactly. You can be a machine gunner, a corpsman. They have JTAC, pilot, couple other different things if you want to do it, and they'll show you how to do it and how to see. Like, I had to go through all the training not to learn the formations, but I need to learn how to use the buttons.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know how to like switch. I don't know how to transition my gun fast.
I would have to do the same thing because I don't know any of that crap.
Exactly. And one guy said something, man, you die a lot, or like he was talking shit. And I was like, yeah, I suck at pretend war. And everybody started laughing. I was like, you're awesome, and I think the point got made, you know what I mean? And people lightened up, and whatever. But yeah, dude, one time, man, I couldn't stand. Every time I stood dink, stub a grenade, like I just couldn't move, man, and you're sitting here and you're like, yeah, high speed, low drag. That was 10 years ago. I haven't thought about that stuff in forever.
Right. It's more like low speed, high drag.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be talking about a game, but I think it's not so much about the game the message I'm trying to convey is
sure
that this guy is trying to create a community.
There's a chance to build, some camaraderie.
I think he's doing a great job. It is hilarious, man. Hilarious. Like when some of these younger guys get in charge,
It's funny. It's just like a regular friggin' second lieutenant, right?
Oh man, I jokingly I keep telling them you got to just go for look if it's bad outside and it's bad inside, just go firm and you'll be able to take a breath and figure it out, right? But you got to get everyone inside. Like, don't leave people outside on the trucks or anything. Just everybody get inside. And he's like, what if they blow up the vehicles? I was like, at some point it's the State Department's time to figure out how we're getting out of here.
That's right.
I was like, I said, just get inside and let the State Department figure out how we're getting out of here.
Right. You can you always have a backup to the backup. You'll exfil a different way.
Yeah, he just looked at me and I was like, what do you want me to say, man? I was like, at some point, you run out of options and it is the State Department's problem now.
Right.
But no, I said, but if you need a breath to figure it out, you need to get everybody inside. I said, listen, when you're walking around looking for trouble, you'll find it.
So
you need an objective. You got to go from one objective to the other. You can't just wander the village. That's why you're getting picked off and shot at from all these different directions.
Do you guys establish rally points too? Like, do you do like a whole patrol order, warning order, and all that, or?
Well, so this is the problem I have, right? I gave that advice out the one time, right? The problem is it's AI, and AI doesn't react the way that we would react really. So you need these guys who know how to play the game and may not know the best tactic, but they know the game. Right. So because the AI, like, I was providing covering fire and they're like, dude, you're just wasting it. They don't react to it.
Really?
Well, one of the game modes they don't. One of the game modes they do. And he's like, we're in that mode where they don't. But they're set to like some freaking ridiculous like radius, right? So I mean, as soon as you're in their zone, they're on you. But they don't react to the anyway. Long story. Yeah, there are some bugs to it. That's why it's in its pre-stage. It's called Armor Reforger. It's the new gaming engine for what is going to be Arma 4. So all the mistakes and the bugs are coming out now. Somebody dropped a Halo mod over it last week when I was going through Corpsman training, so I never finished my Corpsman training.
What does that mean, Halo mod?
So we were all dressed like the Halo Master Chief, running around for a night, with those guns. I played for like 5 minutes and then I got off, and then the next day they took it off and went right back to. I think right now they're using the Kunar mod, Kunar Afghanistan with the Taliban, so they have suicide vests.
Oh shit.
So this is hilarious. Yesterday, myself and another guy are on a rock position firing into the village, and I'm like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go get a higher position." I go around the rock, and there's a Taliban right there. I shoot him, his vest detonates. And the way we play on the server, right? When you're down, you can't talk. They shut off your comms.
Oh.
So you can't say anything. Because people be, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. I did complain about that one time. I said, hey man, I've only been in combat 4 times, so it's not a lot. More than some, less than others. I said, but every time I've been with somebody who got shot, they usually said, holy crap, I'm shot.
Yeah, right.
They didn't just go quiet. So they were like, okay, fair point. But what they said was people don't stop, though. They don't stop saying, hey, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up on the radio. And you're like, dude, no, we just can't get that,
Clear the net, mother.
Yeah, so when you go down, man, you just have to hope somebody finds you and realizes it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's fun, man. So that dude's vest detonated. I was knocked out.
Well, call your friends there, Joseph, and tell them to log on.
I know.
Well, I got nothing, man. I could only afford to pay 4 people, and 2 of them are me. So, whatever. I am gonna play that game, but the thing is I'm just not good at those video games, man.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure it out, man. And the good thing is they do. It does have an 80s mode. It's an 80s engine. Like all these modern things are overlays people programmed. So they look really good. I mean, you can't tell, but the actual base game is set in the 80s, and you could take it as slow or as fast as you want.
So, what's the name of the game again?
Arma Reforger.
Joseph, I think you should probably call in. That's all right. Anyway, moving on. I get bored with those games, man. I play for 10, 15 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I need to go do something else.
Yeah. Some things, a lot of times, it's not for people,
Yeah.
I equate it to like Star Trek, right? You ever met somebody who said, I could give it or take it or leave it?
Yeah, me.
I've heard most people say, fuck, I don't like it. Or I love it. I love it or I don't like it. I've never heard I honestly, truly have never heard anybody say,
I've seen a couple episodes. I've seen 1 or 2 of the movies, but whatever.
Yeah. So you're in the I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I've never met anybody. I don't know. It's just I've never met a half fan. It's either people like it or they don't. And anyway, I think that's I think gaming is one of those things. I think
Shiloh,
television is one of those things. Movies are one of those things. Ballet,
Hold on, Shiloh. Why do you do this, man? You set yourself up. I'm biting my freaking lip right now. I'm not gonna say anything. Shiloh says he's never seen Star Trek.
Yeah. I can't. I'm never able to see any of the chats. I have no idea. I gotta look.
Well, that's kind of an inside joke, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to. All right, I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm not turning a new leaf. I'm just not gonna say anything this time.
That's right.
Shiloh and Joe knows what I'm talking about. Actually,
Have you guys heard about Godzilla 1-1?
Only that it's a movie, right?
Yeah, Godzilla -1, man. I have heard no bad review yet. I'm trying to get a hold of it because my wife's Japanese. You'd have thought I'd had a copy by now.
Is it in English?
So they didn't dub it. I think it's subtitled.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think that's the one. But it's all I don't know. Everybody says it's awesome, but there is a new Godzilla. There's another new Godzilla movie coming out that doesn't look as good.
Shiloh says they sound like the fairy tales for adults. Talking about Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah. I hated that new Star Wars crap, man.
I did too. I see what you did there, Shiloh. Anyway. So Joe and Shiloh are both members of WWA. Hint, hint. Joe, this is Lou. So when you see Lou's name come across in his application, well, I don't know if this helps or hurts, actually. Never mind.
Yeah, I know, right?
Never mind. Yeah, they say when you're in a hole to that's over your head to put down the shovel, but no, I just keep digging, man. I'm gonna get to China.
Why not? The consistency principle.
Right.
That's what they say.
He said not helping him. So Joe's the guy. The story I told you about when we were in Groton and we walked by all the candidates that were in formation. Yeah. Joe's the guy that was with me, and they're just died. I fucking us to death, man. Oops, there's another fine. Oh well. But yeah, it's.
I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago. Remember? And I saw all the sailors walking around, like all the young sailors, and I was just looking like, some without their hats. So obviously fucking off, right? Obviously not. Right. Some were in uniform correctly, some were not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, like, I don't know. I had that moment where I was like, man, I could totally be that guy,
Yeah.
And then I was like, but why? For what? Who cares?
It's not your place anymore, man.
You see them walking around. You're like, man. So you know what I did? I stopped 3 of them in a makeup store, right? 3 dudes.
I'm not surprised.
I was there with my wife, right? I get these 3 dudes in a makeup store. I was like, guys, I'm gonna tell you what, man. If you can stick it out, you're gonna love it. I'm retired now. I don't do shit. See that lady over there? She hates it, but it doesn't matter. Like, all you gotta do is have a sharp uniform, a sharp salute. That's it, man. That's it.
Play the game.
I said I had bad days. I had a bad year or 2, but I always had my eye on the prize, man. And it's over like that. And now I'm kicking it.
Like Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah. I mean, someone has to lie to them going, because I'm not going to Ukraine.
Yeah, I know, right? Joe says 3 Navy dudes in a makeup store. LOL.
That's why I was like,
it's so stereotypical, man.
Yeah. Hey, do you need makeup? No, I know.
Well, I mean, shit, they're going to be selling in the ship store before long, I guess. I don't know. Male-only products. Joe said it sounds like a start to a porno.
Did you see the drag? Did you see the Navy drag commercial?
No, but I heard about it. I read an article about it.
It's like, I mean, look, man. Whatever, I guess you're right. It's not my problem, man. But I would just like, what a distraction! Like, what a distraction! Like, can I just come to work, man?
Right. I was when I read that article, I was so glad that I was already retired. Couldn't believe it, man.
I just wonder if some of them go home at night and they're like, these idiots.
They have to, man. It's like,
I hate my Navy career. They won't let me out early. You should see how uncomfortable they are when I come in every morning. Come here, baby. Yeah,
well, I mean, did they not even stop for half a second to think about all the stereotypes that are already associated with the Navy? I mean, come on.
No, they don't.
Wow, dude.
They don't care, man. All they care about is themselves, man.
Wow.
That's all they care about.
I don't know how these fools sleep at night. How do they look at themselves in the mirror, man? Joe, how do you do it?
You have sex with men in the kitchen? Please comment.
Well, my guess is I don't know. I don't have anything to back this up or prove it.
Michaels, care to comment?
But I'm going to go ahead and say that they're a closet Peter Puffer. That's just, I don't know. Call me crazy.
Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Like, oh, so, you want to go back to Star Trek here? This was an interesting. There's an LGBT.
Not really, but.
I know, right? Well, I'm going anyway. We go back to Star Trek. And this dude says, like, Star Trek is liberal. I don't understand how it has conservative fans, right? And this kicks off this big Twitter conversation about, is Star Trek conservative? Is Star Trek, liberal? And, all these, like, woke side storylines and everything. And, I was just thinking, like, I don't get involved in those things, but if I were to reply, I reply something like, I don't care about Star Trek being woke because I don't care what adults do.
Right.
Star Trek is all adults. I don't care if there's some alien trying to transition. It's an adult. It can do whatever the hell it wants. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't
but
care if two dudes are in a relationship on the ship. I don't give a shit. They're adults.
because it happens now anyway. But
Yeah.
Captain Kirk was a true sailor. That dude would hit anything.
Oh, you know it, man. Oh, he had it all over in every quadrant, man.
Want to hear a joke? What reverse exorcism? Are you saying what's a reverse exorcism, Shiloh? I'm assuming that's what he's saying. I can't wait to hear this one.
Right. But it's just
J-Mac in the house.
It's just funny, man, how these things like pan out. It's just the weirdest, things like 10, 15 years. I remember when I came in the Navy 25 years ago and the chief looked at me and said, "Jesus Christ, we're effed."
Well, I
wonder what he would. I wonder what he would think if he saw now, like that same guy 40 years later.
Well, I couldn't go back in now, man. There's no way, no freaking way. Wait, wait a
hole in your fucking heart.
Well, that too. When the demon tells the priest to get out of the kid. Oh,
right.
I love it. That's just sick enough for me to really enjoy. You know why most altar boys' hair is parted down the middle?
No.
Good boy.
I used to know some terrible jokes like that. I can't remember them anymore.
Do you know the difference between puberty and acne?
No.
Well, the fucking acne comes on a boy's face after puberty. I fucked that totally up, man. It's supposed to be a priest in acne, but whatever, man. Now you get it. Yeah, now that I told it right, damn it.
I get it. Hey, so I'm on an interesting book now. Again, The Fall of Carthage.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been I knew nothing of it. I'd heard of it. The most I knew of it was the reenactment in Gladiator.
Yeah.
That's what I know about the Battle of Carthage, but the Fall of Carthage. Anyway, it's been very interesting. The first 5 hours, 16-hour book, but the first 5 hours been neat. Talking about the Roman Empire, how far it stretched, Carthage, how far they stretched. Just two rival cities, two rival cultures. No real reason to go to war other than just not liking each other and wanting territory. But talking about how their government worked, and things I didn't understand about it. And they say it's important because it deals with the military, but every senator was expected to be a general. Like, so you got into political life knowing you were going to command an army.
Wow.
In fact, you wanted to command an army to secure your family's legacy because those were ways to get elected as a senator.
Joe says two cultures stretched. Sounds sexual.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm turned on. Please continue. Please continue.
Last time I ride a bicycle without a seat again. Are we on?
Is this thing on? Hey, so what have you got to the point where you can tell us some of the differences between what actually happened and fiction? Say the movie 300.
No, I haven't gotten that far yet. But what they're talking about is they're going over the structure of the government to talk about the discipline of the military, to talk about how they're able to move and do certain things, and how they conquer lands, and sort of when they conquer a land, what do they do with the structure of that land? How does that feed the empire? Huh. And how they were able to expand and do these things. And one thing they did talk about was the war elephants. And they were saying, those are very specific to areas. So if you've never seen an elephant and you've never seen a saddled elephant and you've never seen one saddled for war, let alone 50 of them coming through your village, they said that was just, there was a lot of like, hey man, you can have it.
I quit.
Yeah, we don't need to fight.
My bad.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to, do certain things like that. But Carthage was hungry, and Rome was hungry. They're talking about this guy, Happiest Claudius.
Happiest Claudius. What
These
a name.
names, you're hearing these names, and you're like, no way. There's no way. But yeah, I mean, the guy's like Happiest Claudius was a senator general. He played some significant role. I can't remember because I laugh too hard every time I hear it. I can't say what's
funny. How am I funny?
Yeah, but the names are coming up. Hannibal, with the Pyrrhic Wars. They're going to focus more on the Pyrrhic Wars, is what they said. 1, 2, and 3. So we're on 1 right now. But yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, a lot of good stuff.
Shiloh, what are you talking about? We're talking about history. You're talking about football. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's got a bet on the game. Just call me crazy. Call me crazy.
Why not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't bet. I'm too cheap.
No,
I'm too cheap, man.
Legal around?
What's that?
Would you if it were legal?
Yeah, we have casinos here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but I don't.
In Pennsylvania too, but
I don't. I just don't gamble, man.
See, I'll tell you what. Of all the vices I have, and I have an extremely addictive personality and a lot of vices, gambling is not one of them, man. I'm able to, and I just tested it again last year at my buddy's 50th birthday party in Vegas. I can play blackjack, walk away. Yeah.
I don't even play, man. I just don't. Other than slots, which are super easy to figure out, I don't know enough about the different games, and
yeah.
I'm not gonna throw my money away. I work too damn hard for it.
Yeah, I go with so all the times I've gambled, I've gone with so far, I've gone with $500, and when I've lost my $500, I stop.
Joe, you're not supposed to give away my secrets. Do you see what he said or no?
Yeah, I do. It's funny, man. People, you guys ever fall like Alex Rosen? He goes out and live busts predators like freaking Chris Hansen.
Oh, I'm Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Do you know why you're here?
Could you imagine driving with your family, pulling into a driveway, and a young girl with a basket is like, "Hey, just come on in and have some iced tea. I'm just gonna put the laundry away." Well, I just need, yeah, just come in and have iced tea. You're like,
no, thank you.
You're like, hey, would you come out here?
Yeah, you take that tea and shove it up your ass.
I'm gonna put a couple of rounds into the bushes for that asshole that wears the ghillie every episode. I get tackled by that fuck.
Getting tackled by a tree. That's got to be embarrassing.
Asshole.
Dude,
did you see? We used to watch. My team was sorry to cut you off. When I was in Marsoc, my team used to have barbecues on Saturdays, and we would watch that. We would drink and watch To Catch a Predator. Man,
of course you would.
One dude came in and fucking got naked.
Oh damn, Joe.
Now, here's the best part, right? And here's the camaraderie of a team, right? The guy was Mexican. We looked at our Mexican who was on the team, and one dude's like, "Your people, buddy." Get naked, right? And I'll never forget, he takes a drink of his beer, turns around, and goes, "At least my people are here to see women."
Oh! Damn.
Because the episode before, we were like, "Yeah, man, I got nothing for you, buddy." Nothing for you.
Wait a minute. What was Chris Hansen arrested for?
He checked fraud. Fraud. Yeah, something like a check didn't clear or something, I think, right? Yeah.
Well, it had to be more than just that.
Nah, he paid some. That's what they say. Like he paid somebody for some service or something. Like there were flyers and the money never went through. They were just talking about this last week. Yeah, so it was something weird. It had nothing to do with any prayer. So it's like some white collar shit, like check thing.
I always thought he was a scumbag anyway.
I always thought it was hilarious, man.
I thought the show was funny, the premise of it.
Yeah. You did? Why'd you think he was bad?
I just got a vibe, man.
Oh, you know who I used to think was bad? The people in the van.
Oh.
Would be texting.
Shiloh said he had evidence of a sex operation and didn't disclose it.
Is that it? I thought he had a check fraud, what they were talking about, but if maybe there's more.
Screw that guy. Whatever. Yeah. It was just a vibe, man. Hey, he said, and bounce checks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He would come out, man, and Is your name Sex Devil 498? Did you say I want to see that little kitty?
Did you say your screen name was Pulsating Penis?
Did you say I love a hairless cat?
Joe says young chicks are expensive. Oh, sick
Tell
bastard.
me he wasn't funny. Dude, he would come out and catch him right. He would get him right in the
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the show and the premise of it, but just something about him, man, gave me the, I don't know.
Was your name Lip Stretcher 412?
Lip Stretcher 420.
Did you tell a 13-year-old? You're like, oh my god. And then, but dude, the worst part was like it wasn't like he had 4, man. He'd come out with like, I got like, like
Yeah, like an encyclopedia.
facts, man. Like you guys, but that's why I said the people who I always thought got the bad vibe from was he'd be like, here's our operations center where they've been live texting him, and they would show these fat people at keyboards, and I'm like, I hope fucking every one of them is on an ankle monitor and someone's going home with them tonight, because how are you fat in your mid 40s imitating a 13-year-old?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I feel like I'd be busted as soon as I wrote, gag me with a spoon.
Gag you with something.
No?
So Shiloh says 13 G's of bounced checks and didn't disclose evidence of sex operation. Wow.
Yeah, see, I knew his bounce checks was something. I hadn't heard the concealed evidence of a sex operation. What's he do? Was he I mean, does he have evidence of fucking J6 malfeasance by the Capitol Police or something? Is that what they're asking?
Jesus. Wow. Shiloh says being in the Navy, I heard you don't have a gag reflex. Well, buddy, it's time to go back to the audio booth. Because clearly you heard wrong.
You'd have to like move in a motion in a circle to touch.
Right. It's a technique, motherfucker.
Wide,
Technique. Yeah. It's okay. He's in the Army.
Oh, it's cold where you live, huh? Oh, look at that little guy. Oh,
He's so
warm.
cute.
Wrap him up.
He looks like a penis, only smaller.
Warm him up. Give him a scarf. Warm him up. Tell him how good he is. Tell him he's a good guy.
Oh wow, we just went. Wow, wow. You talk about shifting gears, man.
Guys, ever Peter North it?
No, he said definitely doesn't have evidence of the Clintons. Hashtag Epstein didn't kill himself.
I'm telling you, did you see that guy Baker? That guy Baker exposed Dunn, the Blaze reporter Baker. You guys got to look this up, man. He exposed the hero of J6. He said he personally witnessed several people attack a police officer at the bottom of the stairs. The police officer said, yes, he personally witnessed the guy up the stairs seeing it, right? So they both corroborate each other.
Uh-huh.
Baker went through all the video footage, said, not even in the building. Here's the incident. Here's everything. Wasn't even in the building. All that testimony should be thrown out. As soon as he showed the video footage, as soon as he ran the article, then he exposed the same guy, Dunn, was the author of the anonymous letter in conjunction with a CNN reporter and a House representative that said, we, the Capitol Police, are upset about J6. He said that should have been a fireable offense under their code, but because they had already given him a medal and praised him, they put a warning in his record. He said fired others. He exposed all of that. Yesterday, he got a phone call. He has to appear in court for his presence on the Capitol 2 years ago for J6.
Are you surprised?
No, not at all. And neither is the Blaze. So they're running full stories, downloading all his video, everything. He's got a whole team. His team right now is going through all the J6 footage that has him in it, and they're going to release it all ahead of the case, just so everyone can see he didn't parade, he didn't do shit, he didn't do anything. Stephen Baker. Dude,
Shiloh says, I'd rather talk about make-believe Star Trek than J6 ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Hashtag cahoots.
It's just fascinating, man, that, Baker writes the story, exposes Dunn, and then the next day, because he got a call 2 weeks after and they subpoenaed his footage and HBO purchased it. His footage has been played many times.
January 6th.
Yeah, by HBO and all that stuff. So they called him and said they might need him later but then never talked to him again. So they thought it was over. But yesterday he got the call that he has to surrender at the federal court in North Carolina next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday or
What's up, Roy? They have the Capitol insurrection.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Did you see who pulled the fire alarm? They put the glass case over it and they're like representative whatever proof. Hilarious, man. But
Joe lives under a lot of rocks.
But you're right though, man. Are you ever surprised? Are you ever like, huh? No way, right?
I swear, man, nothing surprises me any. But it used to be like, are you kidding me? No way. How did they get away with it? Now it's just like, well, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
When are they going to be checked?
Hey, while we're on it, hey, Trump's winning the black vote, right? Even though every election has shown that that's not true.
Excuse me. You're wrong. Okay, you're fake news. Everybody knows it, okay? I'm going to have the best jail cell in the entire prison. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it.
I hope they have a plan for that, man. It's funny. I was reading an article the other day, and I'll vote for Trump. I'll vote for DeSantis. I'll vote for anyone except Biden. But I'm telling you right now, there's a large portion of the country that doesn't believe what is happening to Trump is happening. Like they just are refusing to believe it. Like they just don't think that they're gonna throw this guy in jail, man. I mean,
it's happening, man.
Everything under the sun to throw this man in jail, and there is a segment of the country that thinks it's just not gonna happen. That's not what's gonna happen.
By hook or by crook, man, he's gone. He gone.
Of course, they want the riots. They want you to flip out. They want you to go nuts so they can suspend the election. They want you to fucking flip out over it. Of course they're going to throw him in jail, so you freak out, then they can take your guns.
What say you, Shiloh? You're a smart dude. He's wicked smart, by the way.
Yeah.
Wicked smart.
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, me neither. I just heard wicked saber.
But anyway, I do find it very interesting though that a lot of the stuff is going on, and I do wonder what the strategy is going to be. If he does turn out to be the nominee and he has to run from federal. Joe Biden's not going to debate him. Why?
Well, I'm curious to hear Joe's opinion. Now, he says it's not. It's all a ruse.
He's not going to. I'm telling you, Joe Biden's not going to debate him. You think Joe Biden's going to debate him?
Joe Biden can't even debate himself.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to debate him. He's just going to run from his basement. And then the super delegates at the Democratic PAC. Here's the thing. The super delegates do not have to vote the way the primary voters vote, right? Because when Reagan got elected, the Democrats changed their primary system to make sure they never got the popular candidate again. They got who they want. So they have a system of super delegates. So, the concern is that they're going to throw Biden to the side, right? Because there's a large portion of neutral people that don't pay attention, right? So Hunter Biden being arrested is two operations, right? Number one, it's a fig leaf operation, right? To that neutral portion of the population, that when they go to arrest and throw Trump in jail, they can say, hey, we threw Hunter Biden in jail. And there's a portion of the population that'll say, yeah, tit for tat. Okay. All right. That'll be acceptable to them. I mean,
there's some good points.
That's what I'm saying. So
in
they're
the
going to
room.
throw Hunter Biden in jail so that they can throw Trump in jail. And then that will swing enough votes over to, the Democrat Party. But what I think is going to happen is I think once they throw Hunter in jail, they're going to throw Biden out to the side. The super delegates are going to come in and they're going to throw Michelle Obama in there if they can convince her. The only thing is Michelle Obama, according to insiders, hates the White House, hates the office of the presidency, and would feel hampered and feels like, it might hurt the movement.
Well, I have a big problem with that because if Michelle Obama does get in office, I mean, that's 4 more years of there'll be 4 more years of no more Lethal Weapon movies,
Yeah, right. But she can beat Trump, though. She can. I mean, what the going like, Vegas odds, and Vegas odds have been pretty spot on. If she got in there. Yeah, right. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it whatever you want, man. Call it whatever you want.
Oh, it's a man baby.
You can call it whatever you want. You might be calling it Madam Mr. President too, if we don't pay attention. If we walk
Oh
away.
boy, it's
the first gay president, the first trans president.
Oh man, it's a nightmare scenario.
Well, that's why I say, like, what's the strategy? What's the plan? Like, when Joe Biden doesn't want to debate, when they throw Michelle in, what are we going to do? I mean, where's all the money going right now? Where's the ads?
Sorry, I forgot to turn the mic button back on.
Yeah, but that's just my thought. Is why would he do it? Especially when the superdelegates can just punt him. I mean, the guy's clearly having problems, man. Dude, oh my God, I was listening to a show. I can't remember where it was, and I tried Googling it. It's not up on the internet yet, but I'm sure it will be. But they were like, Joe Biden or Ozzy Osbourne. They're playing clips like, is it Joe Biden or Ozzy Osbourne?
There's I tell you, they have a plan, all right? There's something in the works, guaranteed, because they wouldn't let him keep going like this, like you said.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they're stuck with him for a while, because everyone hates Kamala.
Yeah, they don't want her at all.
Dump her because of DEI, how behind DEI they are. So they can't dump her, so they're stuck with her. But her polling is worse than ever. I mean, my God, the other day she was just like, we have to look at things that, are things when we look, because we have, and things. You're just like, oh my God, no wonder Willie put a penis in it.
So I was listening,
anything to keep it quiet.
I was listening to a talk radio program a couple months ago, and there was a lady giving a speech, and I'm like, who the hell is this speaking? It sounds like a high schooler giving a
yes.
What do you call it? Student body speech. And then when they said it was Kamala, whatever you want to call her, I was floored, honestly. I really was, because
she's in charge of the border.
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. Kept her legs open just like she kept the border open. Yo,
Spanish girl, ole.
Giggity.
But yeah, man. I mean, that lady is. What was that scene in Billy Madison? We're all dumber for having listened to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel like, like whenever she talk, and then, I almost wonder, like, is she, does she really talk like that, or is she patronizing a certain group of people?
I think you're giving her way too much credit.
Trying to talk in a manner that she thinks, people will understand, because she doesn't give people enough credit.
Joe has a great point. He said, if there was ever time for a third party win, now is the time for an independent. Would make the second only ever. And Shiloh, I'm going to have to second what he said. Joe for president.
But who? I mean, who's going to run the ticket? I mean, you have DeSantis, who has a proven record. I'm a DeSantis guy. I mean, the guy's got a proven record. I mean, people can sit here and say he's a shiz, whatever. I don't know. All I know is he took on Disney and whooped their tuchus, and he's winning down there. And his Surgeon General just uncovered DNA fragments in the mRNA sequences that were released, so they're suing again. I mean, the guy is just win after win. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I am in the tank for him, but I absolutely would vote for Trump. I think Trump was awesome. I think he did awesome things. I just think he gave away a year of his presidency and refuses to admit it. I mean, he still, in interviews, says the vaccine was his greatest thing done. Now, I know Trump supporters who say, if you got the vaccine, you're a fucking idiot. And when I say, does that apply to Trump? I just get a blank stare.
Well,
that's using the consistency principle against them.
You see, what had happened was, Joe, Shiloh says, bring back Bob Dole. Bob Dole can't come back. Bob Dole is dead.
Bob Dole, man, with his perma pen, because his freaking hand.
Right.
Like, yeah.
But if Bob Dole was alive, Bob Dole would run for office
My
again.
dad told me he's disabled. I said, what do you mean? He said, look at his hand. He carries a pen. He's disabled. He said, puts the pen in there so it's distract. If you don't know, it's hard to tell. And I was like, oh, I never knew that.
So I want to. Joe says DeSantis is the only guy that won't win.
It's possible. I mean, you have Trump out there just wrecking them because why? Again, because why? DeSantis wasn't attacking Trump in the beginning of his campaign. He was letting Trump ride. I mean, you had two great candidates, right? Don't forget too, right? Joe Biden's old, right? Age is a factor. All right, how old's Trump? Okay,
He's not far behind him.
Okay. Now, everybody says, look at Trump. He's amazing and he's healthy. And he is. I agree with you 100%. But tell me you have never seen a loved one in your life turn around like that.
Yeah.
How do you guarantee that? How do you guarantee he's not going to? He already freaking said he ran against Obama 2 weeks ago.
Oh, boy.
2016. Okay. So he's gaffing up now, too.
Yeah, but he is under a lot of damn pressure.
I believe it. Look, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I think he did well. But again, if he could just, all he has to do is say, these Moderna guys lied to me, and I'm going to make them pay. And and knowing what I know now, I would not have done any of that. And I think he would win the majority of the DeSantis voters who were on the fence, right? Would come back over to him.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I think he did a great job as a president, but I don't think he's a good guy at all.
Oh, well,
I think he's a shitheel.
He might be.
But it goes back to my earlier point many podcasts ago that I don't have to like you as a person as long as you're doing the job. If you're getting the job done, be an asshole.
And I think that's the problem is, that last year he handed the country over to Fauci and Birx. He did have people telling him that was the wrong thing to do. He brought in Scott Atlas, who showed him the data. Read Scott Atlas's book.
Joe's got another good point. It's with Trump, though, it's his way or the highway.
Yeah, I agree. He's used to running an empire.
Right.
Yeah. How'd that work out? Again, that last year, how'd that work out? 2 weeks to slow the curve. He was frozen.
Shiloh says, I wonder if Trump got the Fauci ouchie.
Yeah, that's another one. Fauci's the asshole that got us to have HIV positive sailors serving on ships.
Oh,
that was him.
Wonderful.
That was him.
Huh.
And I brought it up, and I about what a problem it was, and what the basic response I got from leadership was, you're not important, man. like this, we're ordered to do this, we're going to do this, and nobody cares about your valid medical concerns, man. No one's going to answer them because nobody cares because we're being ordered to do this. Because I asked, how am I supposed to know, right, if he's taking his antivirals or not? Because they said as long as his viral load stays a certain level. How am I supposed to test his viral load? How am I supposed to know his viral load? He's taking his medicine. How am I supposed to do any of that? They're like, we'll do the test before he leaves port. Whatever.
So, yeah, okay. Do the test before you leave point and stop taking your meds.
Whatever, man. Is the rest of the crew going to be aware of this? What if I'm going to train freaking first aid compartment guys, right? Shouldn't they know? I mean, you're endangering the entire crew by allowing this person out here because we have no way to monitor his compliance. And I've met many a bitter sailor with this condition who was not in compliance. I worked at the Tri-Center Rehab Center in Norfolk. Many a sailor getting kicked out for spreading that virus illegally.
Oh, yeah, man.
Should have been charged with murder, but the Navy doesn't want the scandal. Mm-hmm. Many a sailor sent on their way, right? So I'm just going to tell you, I brought it up to the command, and they were just like, you'll be all right. Where'd you get your medical degree? Right, because I'm enlisted, right? You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Wear gloves. Don't you wear gloves all the time? And I said, spoken like somebody who's never been in combat. I said, I try to wear gloves, but when I'm in the bathroom doing my business, when the emergency goes down, like it happens all the time, I got barely time to wipe my ass, let alone put a glove on.
That's a good point, Shiloh. Talk about the service members that got discharged for not taking the
Well, they're all
shot.
being offered the shot back.
Right.
And
And
they're all being offered their jobs back, and none of them want them. But again, who is the commander in chief? Who did that happen under?
yeah.
Again, people are forgetting. You know, we forget these things.
Americans
Who allowed
have
that to happen?
notoriously short memories.
I'm not saying the guy is bad and he wouldn't be a great president. He'll be a great president, but I'm telling you now, they're going to throw his ass in jail. And that's going to cause a problem. And then they are going to react to that with a very, very heavy hand. Look they're still phoning people and throwing them in jail on January 6th for parading. Did you ever think you'd see people in prison for a year and a half for parading?
It's ridiculous.
Parading is the charge. So if you think Trump's not going to jail, I mean, hey, he's winning the black vote. Am I doing it right? Am I doing this right, Andy? Am I cheering right? You know,
I don't know if you've looked at me lately, but I'm not qualified to answer that question.
No, but I mean, this is what I keep hearing in the news, and I'm like, you know, you keep saying this, you keep running these polls, and election after election, we keep getting our butts kicked. You know, you're sure we're not getting set up again? Can we believe the polls this time?
Hell no. Never believe the polls.
Funny thing is, he ain't asking anyone else to get out of the race, but he's all over DeSantis to get out of the race. Now, why is that if everyone else is kicking DeSantis' ass in the polls? If Nikki Haley's beating DeSantis in the polls, why does Trump want DeSantis out? If Vivek Ramaswamy's beating DeSantis in the polls, why does he want DeSantis out? I mean, all I'm saying is I really think Trump did a number on DeSantis. I do think he hurt him. You know, with the narrative and stuff. I think DeSantis was slow. He's not a very energetic guy. You know, right now he's starting to run on his record more. But I think that was unnecessary because Trump is a one-term lame duck. And what did they tell Joe Campa when he said, my understanding, Joe Campa told somebody up in D.C. he was only going to do one term as MIGPON. Right now, there's all these rumors and conjectures and stories and things. But my understanding was he said he was going to do one term, and that person told him, don't say a word to anyone or they will wait till you leave. They will bury you. Huh. So you think Trump is going to go in for 4 years and bust everything? They're just going to bury him in procedure and red tape and just like they did in all the other things. You know, they're going to leak the death. They're going to leak everything to fucking death. Yeah, you're right. He does. He doesn't have the greatest personality. You're right. He doesn't. But I mean, what are we electing? Again, personality? Again.
Well, so that's what the presidency is.
So the car sale. No, I think it's more. But car salesman, right? Car salesman selling you a car, right? They asked the guy with the Guinness World Record in car sales what he did. Fair price and be likable. Here's the thing. You be as likable as you want. But I ain't buying you. And I ain't driving you. Okay? I mean, DeSantis may have a bad personality, right? But we're not going to dinner on it every night. I need somebody who gets in there, makes decisions, and doesn't tolerate the crap. And has a record like in Florida. I mean, he went up against Disney. He took their special status away. Did you see the commission report? Now they have a commission report saying all kinds of bribery and stuff was going on there with them, with officials, with Disney, corruption and paying county members and everything. It's out. You can read it. The commission report is out. Disney was buying all kinds of crap, violating all kinds of laws and rules. And he exposed it all.
Again, I'm not surprised.
All of it, right? And he also passed laws saying that you can never lose your job for refusing a vaccine. I mean, that's how you do things. This is how you win. You got Trump over there. They asked him, can men play in women's sports? Oh, I mean, I think it depends. And you got Jared Kushner like, we don't need to be on this issue. Buy Bud Light. Really? Really? I mean, we're in a position to kill Bud Light right now. And you got Dana White over at UFC bailing him out with a $1 million contract, talking about their values line up closer to mine than any other beer company when he was talking to Tucker Carlson. I don't give a damn about close. This ain't horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear devices. I want you on my values. Or get out.
Was he drunk?
No, Dana White, Tucker Carlson interviewed Dana White. He said, if you're a true patriot, you'd have buckets of it. You'd be drinking it from an IV. You'd be doing gallons of it because the Anheuser-Busch lines up more with your values than any other company. Trust me. I don't care about, being close. I don't. We have a chance to hurt a company.
Wait, who said that?
Make a permanent statement.
Who said that?
Filled out by Dana White, Kid Rock. Oh, they've suffered enough. It's a self-eating machine, right? Can I ask a question? Did Kanye West suffer enough? Has Kanye West suffered enough? Well, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Has he suffered enough? They took his shoes, his sponsorship, his bank account. He can't bank anymore. He can't do anything. Is he?
Damn.
I mean, has he suffered enough? I mean, I'm just saying,
Probably not by their standards.
Right, but Bud Light suffered enough. Bud Light's done it. Oh my gosh. Oh,
That's what I'm saying, Joe. Who? Yeah, whatever. They don't matter.
I mean, I'm just saying, like Kanye West does say some wild ass stuff, man, and he does some wild ass stuff, and he gets whooped for it.
I think he's an idiot. I think he's a huge idiot.
Yes,
but I support his right to say what he's saying.
The speech that should be protected the most is that with which we disagree the most.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's why I was like, yeah, Alex Jones and mutated faggot frogs should be back on Twitter. Never should have left. He makes some interesting points.
Shiloh, that's your fault. I'm just gonna say this out in the open. Shiloh, that's your fault for listening to it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like these people are interesting. They're
Alex Jones,
and they don't do things. That's why. It's a fascinating time to live in. Now here's the question: do you believe it's the election of your lifetime?
No,
I don't know.
I don't. I just don't know. Shiloh. I don't think it is. Well, let me take a step back. Potentially. Depending on the outcome. Billy said, from the Roman Empire to elections to Kanye, does it get any better? Well,
Hannibal would say no.
Hopefully it does.
Yeah. But that's all I got. I'm out.
Yeah. Holy smokes. You're going to take a nap after all that? I couldn't get a damn word in.
Do. Armor Reforger's calling me. Let's wrap this puppy up.
All right. Well, thanks y'all for joining and chiming in. It's fun as always, and great points made by everybody. And
enjoy the conversations in the chat for sure.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon. That's all I got to say about it. But
that's another one. No, I think they're chanting "Let's go, Brandon." Like it's just automatic to cover for him.
Right. All right, everybody. We'll catch y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Eddie.
Whoa. Jesus Christ.
We almost forgot.
We did. Let me hit that real quick.
But it is worth the cutoff. Otherwise, we could have left. But
go ahead. You can talk during it.
We're gonna promote our veteran organization of the week. Every week we try to honor a veteran organization or try to promote or make you aware of an organization that's out there that helps out veterans. And give you a reason to go back and listen to some of the previous shows, and you can hear some of the other spotlights. A lot of programs out there, but not a lot of promotion on them. So tonight we're going to go over caninesforwarriors.org. Great charity, getting canines that are trained, getting the service dogs to veterans, everything free, providing the care, the shots, the training, everything. Check them out. It's K9, that's letter K, number 9, letter S, caninesforwarriors.org. Give them a check out. Excellent.
Please do, because I can tell you my dog has saved my life on more than multiple occasions, and it's a worthwhile charity, and it really helps get back some independence and some stability into these service members' lives that gave so much for you to be like Kanye and rant anti-Semitic bullshit. Anyway, great organization. Lou, text me that real quick if you would, and I'll send it to you, Joe. But anyway, can I play the music now?
We're good.
Oh, okay. Whew. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.